Don't you realize that your 50 questions are just like the theist videos of 10 questions for ages? You have no interest in actually hearing from feminists or engaging. You're only interested in establishing yourself as an ignorant boy at arms with your MRA compatriots.
If that were true, I wouldn't be making response videos.
This video proves you don't know what a feminist is, lol.
This seems to be the go-to argument for any feminist who doesn't have a real argument. Of course I know what feminism is. That's why I'm so good at debunking it.
Goodness, angry. Your anger makes you boring, Dr. Shame. You're not dispassionate or trying to teach anything. You're just another enraged male. Yawn.
Something I've noticed about feminists is that they rarely provide a real argument. They always default to, you don't know what feminism is, or you're just an angry man who can't get laid, or some variant thereof. I guess sequestering yourself in safe spaces where you get to avoid having your opinions challenged doesn't prepare you to defend your indefensible positions.
This dude sounds like a fat atheist gamer loser.
Way to prove me right, dickhead.
This video would have been much shorter if you stopped yapping every 5 fucking seconds.
It's my video, asshole, and I'm trying to put forth an argument. What do you want me to do, sit here quietly and not say anything?
These are feminists. I can't believe how often I have to point this out. It's equality. If someone says they're for anything other than that, they're not feminists. Feminism is for men and women. Anyone who says they hate men or make these kinds of generalized statements towards men simply aren't feminists.
So feminism is for both men and women. That's funny because nothing feminists do would seem to indicate as much. I'm curious, can you name even one thing that feminism has done to help men? Because all that comes to mind is such instances as the time the Office of Violence Against Women advocated against spending public money on abuse shelters for men despite the fact that men make up almost half of all domestic violence victims, the fact that feminists have actively covered up evidence of the prevalence of intimate partner violence against men, and of course, all those times feminists protested and disrupted men's issues conferences.
Dude, chill out. To be fair, the feminist movement doesn't need you, or is even about you. You're doing no social justice and really you play yourself.
So you admit that feminism doesn't focus on men at all, LMAO?
Huh? But feminism isn't about men. It's about how worldwide women are disadvantaged, and that in a world ran predominantly by white men that have different needs that most of the time go unheard because they're just being girls.
Oh, so feminism isn't for men? Isn't it telling that feminists can't seem to agree on what feminism even is? It's like you have all these different denominations with dogmas that conflict with each other. You have your liberal feminists, radical feminists, sex-positive feminists, sex-negative feminists, choice feminists, Marxist feminists, gender feminists, TERFs, the especially wacky feminists who believe women literally have magic powers, self-proclaimed feminists like Christina Hoff Sommers who all the other feminists despise, feminists who say feminism helps men too, feminists who say feminism isn't concerned with men's issues, feminists who say anybody who wants equality is a feminist, feminists who say men can't be feminists, and so on. There are even feminists out there who say rape isn't rape if it happens to white women. It seems that the only thing any of you agree on is that we live under a patriarchy where women are oppressed by men, which is demonstrably false as evidenced by the numerous legal and institutional advantages given to women which you conveniently ignore. But none of you agree with each other on what feminism really is or what the goals of feminism should be. You know what I think? I think you people like to say feminism means whatever you want it to mean. It's like Christianity. God is whatever you want him to be, and that allows you to move the goalposts and deflect any criticism.
Why is it okay for you,
Unnecessary comma,
to judge feminists by as soon as feminists say something,
unnecessary space,
you jump on them and make a stupid video because you're not comfortable?
unnecessary double question mark.
Watch BuzzFeed's video and you might understand it.
That doesn't change anything. Everybody's allowed an opinion, but don't comment/make a video for views.
First of all, fuck you. I'm going to make a video about whatever the fuck I feel like. It's called freedom of speech, asshole, and if you don't like it, then you can go back to your safe space and let the grown-ups talk. Also, why shouldn't I judge feminists when they claim to be a movement for equality while their actions demonstrate the complete opposite?
Despite the name, feminism supports equality. You yourself are in fact a feminist.
I support equality, and that's precisely why I'm not a feminist. I'm getting really sick of this feminism is about equality argument. You can't claim to be a movement for equality when your movement is exclusively concerned about the issues facing one gender to the complete exclusion of the issues faced by the other. You also can't claim to be a movement for equality when your movement has a history of actively fighting against shared custody and the presumption of innocence, promotes the Duluth model which assumes men are the primary aggressors in cases of domestic violence despite evidence showing that women are just as abusive if not more, and protesting and disrupting conferences about the disproportionate rates of male homelessness and suicide. And you can't claim to be a movement for equality when your movement is entirely predicated upon the notion that the inequalities that exist between the genders are entirely slanted in favor of men, thus necessitating the denial of inequalities faced by men and boys such as the high rate of suicide, homelessness, high school dropouts, criminal victimization, workplace fatalities, infanticide, and so on.
If you believe in equality, then you're a feminist.
Fuck off. This is like when furries say, "Oh, you like Bugs Bunny? You think Chewbacca's pretty cool? Well, guess what? You're one of us." Just stop, alright? Nobody's falling for it. Let me ask you something. Do you like dogs? You know who else liked dogs? Hitler. I guess you're a Nazi now. Isn't logic fun?
Feminism is for equality. Not more rights, nor less. I find it absolutely sickening that these types of videos are even allowed on YouTube. Stop spreading your lies, please.
Oh, here we go again. It's like fucking clockwork. Hey, if anything I said in my 36 Stupid Feminist Questions Answered video was a lie, then I challenge you to prove them wrong. And I'll only accept facts, not feelings, prick.
Is this a troll? Is he being for real? You mean to tell me there are people on the internet who disagree with me and provide reasoned arguments and empirical data to support their position? I'm so triggered. This vid is stupid. I mean, girls have to pay for toiletries and sometimes makeup due to the impossible standards of beauty caused these years. Do you know how hard it is to be in public with a straight face when inside you're cringing from the pain of cramps? Not easy. There is possibly more stress for women because the standards for them are impossible to meet, and girls even have to stop working sometimes to birth a child, and they have little to no choice of working to get money or continuing our species.
First of all, those beauty standards obviously aren't impossible considering some women actually live up to them, but nobody's saying you have to live up to them anyway. Nobody is forcing you to wear makeup. Second, you posted this on my video about why the wage gap is bullshit, why I pointed out that men get paid more because they work more overtime and are less likely to call in sick even when they actually are sick. Are you implying that the average wages between men and women should be evened out even though the average woman doesn't work as hard just because you have menstrual cramps? Wow, and feminists say men are entitled. Third, nobody's forcing you to have kids, and guess what? There are 7.4 billion people on this planet right now. We don't need any more. Instead of pumping out yet another mouth to feed who will go on to use up resources and pollute, if you want a kid so badly, why don't you adopt one of the 400,000 or so kids in the American foster care system? Fun fact, did you know that even though the sex ratio at birth in the United States is 1.05 girls to every boy, and males make up 49.2% of the population, boys make up 52% of children awaiting adoption? Why don't you do your part in the fight for equality and take one of those boys home so he doesn't end up contributing to the rate of male homelessness as children who age out of the foster care system are statistically extremely likely to do?
You're so uneducated. Please shut up.
No, you shut up.
You care so much you made a 40-minute video about it. Jesus H. Christ, both sides are full of nut jobs.
You posted this comment on a response I made to a video by Lacey Green in which she argues against the presumption of innocence and promotes misinformation and even outright falsehoods about the nature of rape and false rape accusations. Her video is actively harmful to real people, and I know it because I've gotten numerous comments from people telling me about the injustices they've faced as a result of the bullshit mentality that she's perpetuating. And you're saying I'm a nutjob for correcting her misinformation? Fuck you, dude.
I just want to say that I'm a feminist, and after the first question I went to the comment section to leave this comment. I understood what this video will be like. I just want to reply to it by saying that this is why we need feminism.
Oh yes, criticisms of feminism are the reason why we need feminism. It's like a religious mentality. The more you prove them wrong, the more they cling to their dogma. The Bible said there would be doubters and mockers, so you're just proving it right. I also like how you flat out admitted that you didn't even watch the video. Like you don't see a problem in ignoring what other people have to say and then proceeding to claim the moral high ground. And then you wonder why people are so sick of you. Here's a thought, since I apparently have to do all the thinking for you. Maybe instead of dismissing opposing viewpoints as misogyny and pointing to arguments against your narrow-minded and hypocritical worldview as proof of why we need feminism, maybe you should try listening to those arguments and see where you're going wrong. I mean, feminism is about equality, right? So don't you think you should give equal consideration to other people's points of view? I mean, I at least attempt to listen to arguments from people like you. I might actually consider your point of view if you people ever made an argument stronger than, "You're a sexist," and "Feminism is about equality because it says so in the dictionary." But so far, of all the criticisms I've made against feminism, I haven't heard a single compelling rebuttal, and I think the fact that you people resort to these kinds of arguments is proof of why we don't need feminism.